Hello guys, welcome to this episode of Do It Yourself Harley. And basically what I've done is, so far, I've tore the bike down quite a bit, got the gas tank removed, made me a little table over here, and I started putting everything on it, like my carburetor, exhaust pipe, the whole full shebang there. And just got everything marked. Basically what I started with was just moving the rectifier, disconnecting the battery, which my battery's on the opposite side, of course. Had to go pick me up a few tools. Sorry about the glare, guys. Oh, by the way, freaking sun just happened to go down. My neighbors are done yelling for a change. Um, Pretty much removed the bracket, motor mount bracket here, and then there was a switch bracket, I guess you call it, and removed all that. I did get the bike up on some supports. That way I could turn the back wheel. Now, basically what I did for this is for removing the valves and everything like that. Now, try to explain this the best way I can. You guys kind of understand what I did. Try to get a decent picture. See if we can get this focused in here. And it might decide it wants to focus. Okay. But anyways. So, this nut here, there it goes. Okay. So, in order to get your valves and everything loosened up, you can take this nut here and you loosen it, basically by going this direction. Okay? Well, right below that, there's a seat right there. The tip of this screwdriver is pointing to. That has to be flush with your cork gasket that's already there. It has to be about flush with it. That'll ease things up a little bit. You may have to hold this with a 1/2 inch wrench, and then this is your 11 or 7/16, depending on how the age of your 11 or 7/16. 11 worked for me. And you hold this and then just spin this until this seats all the way up against the top, which would be right there. Once it seats up against that top, then you just begin screwing the 1/2 inch down. That's going to the left, and just keep going and going till this butts up against that seat there, and then you can just take the push rod itself, lift it up, pull them out, and you're done. And of course, I already had them out, so it doesn't. So the video didn't take too long to make, considering I'm running low on battery at the particular moment. And then that's pretty much it. Now, one thing I did notice, and one thing you want to look for too, is like on this, I had a little bit of oil coming out, which is a pretty good sign that there was oil up in the top of this rocker box. Well, on this side, as you can tell, somewhat, let's see if I can block out some of this sunlight for you, there is no oil coming out. So that's not a good sign. The lifters did have some oil on them, but not like the other ones. So we'll definitely have to figure out what's going on. Maybe a port's blocked. Maybe it has something to do with that in here. Just blow some air inside there, clean it out real good. Make sure that nothing is blocking it. And hopefully nothing is. Or maybe something was just blocking it. And maybe it'll make my life a hellacious amount simpler. But like with anything, like I said, I got a mechanical regulator or rectifier or whatever you feel like calling it. Of course, I marked my ends, left and right, and my middle one, of course, I didn't mark. No need to. Regulator. And then, of course, I removed my throttle cable, got it out of my way. And the first thing I'm going to do is, of course, naturally, I'm going to remove the heads off the jugs, and get that out so I can see what's going on with there to find out if I'm going to have to start replacing more. That way I can go get those parts on order. And then slowly but surely from there, I'll remove the oil tank, get the front and rear wheels gone, any of the transmission rotating and things like that I want to do while the wheel's on. Got to get the foot controls removed. We are going to be sanding and painting. And like I said, I got the coil removed. I'm going to be painting that also. Got some pretty good primer, all that good stuff. But so far, like I said, it's actually going pretty smooth. I'll have to go to my local hardware store and get a bunch of bolts. Well, bolts. Some of the bolts are old, rusted. So it's getting up there in age, you know, typically. But for the most part, it's going relatively smooth, and there's really no signs of any bad damage or anything like that. I guess the next video that I make will probably be with the heads off and the rocker boxes off. And just to give you a little idea about that, removing the rocker boxes is simple once after you get your valves going, or your valve lifters, or your push rods, whatever you want to call them. Just a matter of loosening all these bolts up, right here, 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 and then just pulling it off. Maybe take a little bit of force, maybe via a flat tip screwdriver, things like that. Once it's off there, it should make things a lot easier. And then, of course, by removing the 4 head bolts, the head will pop off, and then we will get a look at why my front jug was leaking. And yeah, I ordered a kit. When I got it in the kit, it was actually the new gasket kit has copper gaskets. So gonna have to do a little research into that because I've never actually used copper gaskets. Now, most people on the copper gaskets, I do know on most like tractors and things like that, on a copper gasket, typically you want to use some RTV around the holes for the where the oil goes, and I'd imagine it's probably that way for these. So I will be using most likely a little bit of RTV around the copper gasket part where the oil will travel back down into the crankcase. Most likely. But as you can tell, it's going pretty smooth, and like I said, the next video I make, I probably will have the jugs removed and all that good stuff, so you guys will have an idea of what to expect next in the next video. And I'll probably, like I said, when it's reassembling, I'll go into a little bit more detail about the specific torques, things like that. That way you guys have an exact idea of what to do. But for now, guys, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you guys a little update on how it's going. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.